FoodSocial, you can explore, save, and foodie influencers. Save to collections, create free. We make it easy to find great recipes, get your ingredients, and connect with hundreds of trusted creators.
Hello and happy Monday, Michelle.
Happy Monday. Did we freeze up a little bit already?
I don't know. You're back. I'm so excited that you're back.
I'm back. I know. It's always good to be back, then also like, oh, I'm back. But that's what vacations are for, is to get away. Reality is, routine is great, and that's what makes vacations even better, is coming back to routine. You just do what comes your normal day.
I love it. It sounded like you guys had a great time and kind of chilly, but good weather.
Yeah, just chilly at the start, because when you're going, not that we're going really fast at the beginning, but when there's a ton of bicyclists starting all at the same time, you feel like you better pedal for your life so you don't get run over. And so even though it was southern Utah and it was 55 degrees, but the sun wasn't up.
Oh.
And so it was just, like, I was just hoping my fingers were breaking, because I couldn't feel my fingers. I was just glad that I was breaking.
Well, you shared the pictures with me. It looked like a great time.
Yeah, it was beautiful. By the time it was beautiful weather and just really great time to do it with we did it with my oldest daughter and her husband. And I, just to get to hang out with them was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so. I love that. Well, you came back with this thought about what are you going to make, and so today, with the show topic.
Because when we go out, we took some food to enjoy just at our Airbnb, but we went out mostly. We just went out to dinner, and so I haven't worried about making meals. But now it's Monday, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably make dinner tonight. So.
Yeah.
But one of the best hacks for an easy meal that can be really fancy or not is a sheet pan meal. Like,
absolutely.
Get your oven cranked up and let's do some sheet pan, because there's so many fun ways to use, and we have so many on our recipe platform.
Yeah. Well, let's pull them up.
I was going to say, some feel extra fancy, but you don't have to be fancy at all. And there's just some little tips to keep in mind, but it's such a great mode of cooking a lot of things at one time and only dirtying one pan instead of, one saucepan, one this, one that. I'm not opposed to that, but sometimes you just want an easy lift, and sheet pan meals have come a long way, and there's just so many creative ways. So you're just kind of going through. We have over 700 on the platform.
Yeah, nearly 800, and maybe I bought them. Wow. I don't know. There's got to be more. Oh, there we go. I hit a show more that I couldn't see. Okay. So many. Now I'm typically. I know there's a lot of ways you can do it. I hate to say it. I'm a little bit one-dimensional when it comes to sheet pan meals, and we make basically the same sheet pan meal all the time.
Okay. And what's your go-to?
We'll put 4 chicken thighs on the sheet pan.
And those are not bone in, right?
They are.
No bone.
Bone in, bone in, skin
okay.
on. Yeah. You can do them boneless too, and that's cool. But based on some of the other ingredients, the timing and cooking works out well. And so a baked chicken thigh, you're about 40 to 45 minutes for that thing to be cooked at 400 degrees. And when we'll cook them on their own, maybe we'll even do 425 to get the skin really crispy. But we'll do 400 in this scenario, because we'll end up putting on things like sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. And those things do also take about 40 minutes. And so the pacing actually works incredibly incredibly well. There's one from Allie, where we'll season the chicken with our adobo seasoning, and then we'll toss the vegetables and also season them, probably with adobo, but sometimes other things too.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so cool is like we'll do just like a little bit of oil, like olive oil or avocado oil spray on the veggies, but as the fat from the chicken skin renders, it sort of like gets out into the pan, and it like makes the vegetables like almost buttery, and I love that. And so we're a little bit one dimensional about that. I haven't seen ours come up yet, but when I do, I'll click into it.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you do like different things? Or you do sort of the same thing, or tell me about
Well, it varies a little bit. And to your point about the vegetables that take almost as long as the chicken thighs, that's a really important thing about sheet pan meals, because where you're doing chicken that has bone-in skin on, those just take longer if you're going to go that route, and that's great. And it's actually very juicy to go with a bone-in chicken all the time. But you have to match what you're cooking with it, or put those on later, because the denser the food, the longer it takes. And so you wouldn't want to put on some asparagus with those chicken thighs. Otherwise, you will have like mushy asparagus by the time your chicken is done. And so usually when I do a sheet pan, sometimes I take the fish route, because fish, depending on the cuts, I have so many in my freezer, they can thaw out pretty quickly. And some you can even throw in the air fryer totally frozen. I have sheet pan desserts.
I was going to say, yeah.
No, I have some sheet pan cauliflower, which, by the way, you can go straight up and just do, plant-based if you'd like. But that's a fun way to cook cauliflower in steaks, if you will. And they're delicious with some dressing. So, I don't know. Sheet pan meals for me usually are a fish of some kind. And so then and I don't know that I actually have a recipe for any sheet pan meals, just desserts, which I don't know. I'm a baker. I love that. So, but yeah, you can make sheet pan. I call them puffins, a muffin, Yeah, none of the sheet pan meals. I am not a good sheet pan. And it's funny for me, because I'm like, oh, I don't need a recipe. I'm just going to throw everything together. But that's me. But some people, you just need to know. And that's what I'm kind of talking about with making sure your protein and your veggies, if you do that, have the same amount of cook time. And use the same cuts. Like you mentioned sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts. You might want to make sure those are all cut about the same size.
Yeah.
So again, that they might bake up at the same. But the fun thing about food that's come so far is, let's say you do a simple vegetables like you talked about. You can even add, we have so many fun sauces on the market that once the veggies are done, toss them in a little bit of dressing. Either that's a Mesa de Vita sauce, or we've got several other brands that have Saucy Lips. I think they have great sauces that you can then elevate it a whole nother level and toss those veggies once they're done, or the protein, and have a little bit of a flavor to those veggies if you want it up a little bit, to change the flavors up a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. Sheet pan gnocchi.
Yeah, this is a great example from Kate Strangfeld, who's illustrating that point perfectly, which is a lot of these things are kind of the same size. And I think that's really important to how you execute this properly. And yeah, you can add things later too, like the green beans or the asparagus in your example could be added later. But I think that's really important where you do it that way. I've lost my scroll. To do it by the arrow. Weird.
Another fun thing I like to do when I do sheet pan dinners, like with your chicken thighs, I assume you cook those skin side up.
Yeah.
So the top. Yes. Okay. If you want a little bit of a crispier finish to your food, you can always, at the end of cooking, turn your broiler on and give it a nice, I'm not going to call it Maillard because it's technically not Maillard. It hasn't touched the pan to create that Maillard. But the broiler gives it that nice little finish on top. And if you're going to add a sauce, you can then, once it's crispy, do a little drizzle of sauce over the top as well.
Mm.
Because there's something as we know, I love texture. And so if I can make things a little crispy on top, all the better for me. So that broiler, but just keep an eye on it. You don't want to then totally obliterate what you've just cooked in your sheet pan meal under the broiler and have it burn. So just don't walk away from the broiler ever.
I've
Don't
never done that.
Yes, you have.
Oh my God, I probably did it while you guys were over last year.
Oh, it's easy to do. You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna put some color on that really quick, or a little bit of crispy, and then it's like, what's that smell? Like, oh my gosh, I'm burning dinner. Now it's
Yeah.
now we're ordering takeout.
The nose should not be underestimated as a as a help in cooking. I often do that where I'm like in the kitchen making something and I'll sort of smell something and be like, uh-oh, I forgot. I didn't put enough water in that pan and now it's burning out. Or it's usually something burning.
Yeah. And also, don't be afraid to, even though it's a sheet pan meal, you can still go in there and toss things about so that you get even browning. If you want the pan to do all the browning, you can toss things about. Don't be afraid of getting in there during the cooking process and give it a little tossy, maybe a little bit more salt if you feel like, you forgot that. You can still salt those a little bit later. But I love your chicken thighs where you talk about the fat of the chicken helping cook those veggies.
Yeah.
So don't over fat your veggies in that case, because you don't want the chicken fat and too much olive oil or avocado oil, because then you're just going to have oversaturated veggies.
Yeah, there's almost too much sometimes. It's actually a good reminder to cut off some of the extra chicken skin if there is extra, just because it renders. It can be really greasy.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So what are you gonna make? Are you gonna make a sheet pan meal tonight then? Is that your strategy?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see. I know I have some salmon in the freezer, and I have some Romanesco that I'm pretty sure some Romanesco and purple cauliflower in my fridge that might really need to be cooked. And so I'll cut those the right size so that the salmon, that they're probably going to be done at the same time, but I will thaw my salmon out first. And it doesn't have skin on them. There's no skin on these fillets, and so I don't need to worry about getting the crispy skin. Yeah. Because I love crispy skin fish.
Oh, me too.
Well, I love crispy skin chicken. Just, it's the texture for me. But yeah, that's what I will probably do. And then I have so many different flavors of salt and seasonings that it just kind of depends on. We ate so well last night, as you know. We went to Hell's Backbone, a restaurant in the middle of Utah here. Amazing food. We spent over 2 hours dining because it's an experience, not just a meal. Yeah. And so we don't need anything like super fancy tonight. We might just keep it simple and do a quick salt and pepper, maybe some garlic clove salt, just to let our taste buds kind of have a milder evening versus something, because we've experienced a lot of good food yesterday.
Yeah, you kind of need like a palate cleanser after like such a good meal. It's kind of like you have to just like reset completely.
Oh yeah, because we had everything, appetizers, the whole, everything, salad, entree, dessert. And so we don't eat like that every day. If somebody does, that's great, but we don't. And so we're feeling like also we don't need to eat that much tonight. So fish is a nice and light meal. Yeah. Still plenty of protein. Salmon takes flavor of just about whatever you want. Yeah. And Romanesco, it's such a fun and visually stunning vegetable anymore. And our grocery store carries it on occasion. So I snagged a couple, I think you call them heads of Romanesco. And so that'll be just a nice, meal, super easy. Maybe I'll cook some rice in my rice cooker and put it all on rice or something. I don't know. I'll just wing it. I know that. I'm just winging dinner tonight.
That sounds good. I love Romanesco too. I think it's when I was a kid, so my sister's 2 years younger than me and a total math whiz. She did a school project on Fibonacci numbers and expressions of Fibonacci numbers in nature, and Romanesco is like actually a great example of that. I think, right? It's sort of
so
like
explain what Fibonacci is. So everyone,
what
the Fibonacci.
Fibonacci.
Explain what.
Oh gosh, I would have to Google it here. So Fibonacci sequence it's a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, typically starting with 0 and 1. So it goes 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on. And so it's like it ties into like the golden ratio. And so like another example of Fibonacci sequence in nature is like the nautilus shell. You're familiar with the nautilus shell? Yep.
Yeah.
Pine cones are another Fibonacci example in nature, and so is Romanesco.
Yeah, honeycomb, is that right? Wouldn't honeycomb be that with all its?
I don't know, but it's like it has to do with like an increasing radius like spiral. So like the nautilus shell is actually the perfect example of that.
Right, because it gets this way. Yeah.
But anyway, if anyone out there wants to nerd out on that, that's a really cool one to check out.
No, but that is, and I know some of those things, like Romanesco, one of my daughters can't look at Romanesco too long. It does weird things with her eyes.
Oh,
like she can't see patterns like that for too long. And I don't know what that it's even called, but I think Romanesco is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just such a beautiful vegetable, and it cooks very similar to broccoli and cauliflower.
Yeah, it's part of the same family.
I was going to say, I think it's part of the same family.
Yeah.
And that our grocery store carries that along with purple cauliflower, orange cauliflower, yellow cauliflower. It's just so many variables. I love eating with my eyes, and it just makes mealtime more exciting. So anyways,
I love that.
So I think I finish up that Romanesco that's begging to be cooked.
Oh, it sounds good. Well, I'm so glad you're back. The one pan meal sounds like a really good idea for tonight. I was saying to Haley this morning, we're coming into such a crazy week. There's so many things going on with Halloween and our daughter's birthday that I think
back to back.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing some one pan meals this week too.
Yeah, agreed. And you know what? Experiment with flavors. You know, they could be. Don't be intimidated. Sheet pan meals are a fun way to experiment with different sauces or tamaris. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Just have fun and experiment. See what your taste buds are like.
I love it. All right, Michelle. Well, we'll see everybody back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll hope to see you here, and hope everyone has a great day.
All right. Sounds great. And see ya.
Yeah.